Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing Street Fighter Alpha for the Sega Saturn. Now, before I get on to this, just quickly, I don't mean to get topical, because that usually means that this intro will date poorly, but today marks the day for GTA 5 on the PC. Now, I'm not being facetious in any way when I say that I am absolutely not missing that game. I'm too busy enjoying this. Quite genuinely, I have been playing this a lot and I've been loving it. Probably shouldn't have said that in the intro, because then obviously there's no need to sit through the rest of it. God damn it. Ah! Fuck! Don't expect a long review, because this is going to be exactly what you think it is. It'll be several minutes where we gather around the game and just have one massive circle jerk. If you're really still asking the question whether this game is any good on a console that was designed with games exactly like this in mind in 2015, you're either really keen to see if I have another angle on the game, super keen to watch any Saturn review, or you've just been living in a cave for the last 20 years. Such an iconic game like Street Fighter Alpha, even if it was a dodgy port, they would have had to have fucked it up super hard in order for anyone to dismiss it, and since Capcom had their hand in this conversion to home screens, it's even harder to imagine this game being any less than pretty good, which it isn't. It's amazing. It's as good as its sequels, and it's still solid enough not to be dismissed. The game was released in the arcade in 1995, Game Boy Color in 2000, PlayStation 1 in 1996, and PlayStation 2 sometime after that, Saturn in 1996, PC in 1998, CPS in 1996, and on the PlayStation Network in 2008. It was developed and published by Capcom. Sweet, sweet Capcom goodness. It was released in the PAL region, US, Japan, and a special release in Brazil. Interestingly enough, several games got special releases in Brazil, but are now not only highly sought after, but deathly expensive. So, who do we have to select this time around? Glad you asked. Ryu, Ken, Chunners, Charlie, who might as well be Guile, Guy, Birdie, that blue guy, Aiden, Rose, and Sagat. Oh, and there also might be secret characters, but I don't want to ruin that surprise for you. Talking about ruining things, let's break down this amazing game. Straight out of the gate, the presentation is excellent. From start to finish, this is so aesthetically pleasing in every way. It's all class with no small detail left out. The only complaint I have is the size of the live bars in-game are a little bit on the chunky side. Short of that, everything else is great. The graphics are more solid than my erection while watching a porno that features all three of my favourite fetishes: Asian chicks, fatties, and old ladies. Collision detection is great, the animation is smooth like a tear in a colostomy bag, and the colour is amazing. There is an aspect which cannot be seen in the gameplay video, and that's atmosphere. It feels like it goes hand in hand with gameplay, but it too is just something else. A complete certain something that some games have and others do not. It can be partly seen with the detailing of backgrounds and environments, but also felt when you play the game. A game can be technically proficient, looks good, handles well, but still misses something that makes it next level immersive, and I think a lot of gamers can feel it too. They might not put it into words, but when you've been playing it for hours, you finish the game and still go back, there's something there. And this game has that in spades. Sound is pretty great, not much to say apart from I think they nailed it. They really did, and not because it's outstanding, but adds to the game without feeling out of place. But Capcom around this time never really skipped a beat with the Saturn, and games like this only prove the point more. I'm going to be brutally honest here and say that I felt initially the gameplay was shallow. Then I realised, oh wait, I'm shit at this game. Then seeing the game open itself up to time-intensive combos as well as perfectly timed blocking. I did find Chunners to be overly powerful until I fought Ryu. Then Ryu let me have the first round every single time and then proceeded to pants me for the last 2 rounds, regardless on who I was, until I wore a dress and played as Rose. Oh, by the way, that's a metaphoric dress, not an actual dress. I'm not that way inclined. There were no pants to pull down and embarrass me. It's hard to talk about some of the characters in this game because I am woefully shit with them, and I can completely concede in this scenario. Characters like Charlie and Sagat, couldn't play with them even if my balls were in a vice and told to finish the game, or else they would be crushed. If that was the case, I would be 2 balls down, less of a man. But the difficulty is near perfect. If anything, it was a smidge easy, and that's coming from someone who's not good at playing games, but has been playing the series since the original Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. On the default setting, it was a little too easy with the characters I was proficient with, and a little too hard for the ones that I wasn't, which I know it sounds like they're wildly out of whack, but it really wasn't that bad. Controls are tighter than a pair of jeans that are 2 sizes too small. Replayability is infinite. Simple as that. 2-player. The single player will give you a few hours, but it's all about that 2-player. Well, sort of. The gameplay is just so amazing that it'll make you come back to it again and again and again. The 1-player was amazing while it lasted, but hey, I'll probably head back every now and again. Would I recommend this game? Fuck yeah! Get Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter Alpha 2, and Street Fighter Alpha 3 if you're collecting. The others will cost more, but there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't have this in your collection as well. And from what I've been reading, there have been some that have mentioned that this is their favourite from all the 3 Alpha games on the Saturn, and while I can 100% identify with that sentiment, it's not one of my own.
Hadouken!